So last year was a pretty big year for me leaping into higher-end Transformers. Not really a big fan of Masterpiece still, because they're just a little too finicky for me to transform. And also, once the robot mode is just on that level of being gorgeous, I would rather just not worry about transforming it. So I really do enjoy Threezero DLX. I got the Bumblebee movie Soundwave as my first one, and last year I got a third-party Transformers Prime Optimus Prime, and that made me want to go ahead and get the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus, the iconic design from the first 3 movies, mostly the first 2 movies, and I absolutely adore this figure. Now, I kind of got this as a special treat to myself. It's the first episode of Prime 4 Prime, and this video has nothing to do with Prime 4 Prime. I just felt a little extra spendy, and I love this Threezero Optimus so much, I decided it wasn't enough. I need to have a whole shelf dedicated to different iterations of Optimus Prime throughout the years in Threezero DLX form. So this, my friends, is the Age of Extinction / The Last Night design for Optimus Prime in Threezero DLX. And given the fact that this design turns 10 years old this year, I am so happy to have this. I have always been more of a fan of the look from the first 2 movies. I'm not gonna lie. I've always preferred this look. I love how many truck elements you can see. I love the color separation. I love the darker colors. I still prefer the original trilogy look. However, I, over the past decade, have grown to absolutely adore Optimus Prime's Knight armor from Age of Extinction. I love the design. I love the pecs, the shoulder pads, the armor skirting, the sleekness of the legs, but yet all of the mechanical detail woven in. Like the shoulder, neck, collar armor right there, the smokestacks poking out the back, the fierceness of the battle mask. I actually do prefer his look without the faceplate with this design than I do that design. I really do enjoy like how his face looks in this design a lot better. And he's got the big old sword. He's got the big shield. He looks amazing, and I love him. So I just want to get this comparison out of the way because I had to. And yes, before you ask, I will get the Rise of the Beast version. I'm not sure if I'll get the Bumblebee movie one, though, because I feel like it's very similar to Rise of the Beast for me, and I kind of want these to be very, very separate, very, very unique and different. So what I have on him right now, he has the battle mask, he has the gripping hand for the sword, he has a fisted hand, he has the shield, and he has the connector for the shield to the arm, and he also has the covers on his back that are necessary to make him not look like trash. So, what does he not have on him? I will give you a closer look at all of those, but first, he does obviously still have the kind of iffy Threezero DLX display base. These always are so easy to just get. They're a magnet for everything. I don't even know what all of that is. It's just so ridiculous. You can see the Last Night Optimus Prime works the exact same way, where you can, unlock it and relock it. You can push this button to lower it, but it does just raise on its own, so that's very annoying. So, like, if you're adjusting it, it's like, oh, never mind. Then you pull that out to readjust it. It works for, like, flight poses and everything, but they're so stable on their own, I don't really see them necessary for, like, just standing displays like this. They stand perfectly fine. And they also pose dynamically pretty fine on their own as well. So what else does he have? So I did talk about some of the hands he has currently on him. These are the left gripping hand and the right fist. You can see they are missing the hand guards. The hand guards you have to swap between the interchangeable hands. They did not have the budget to paint those gorgeous hand guards over and over again, unfortunately. And that is very unfortunate, as you will find out. But how the hands work, like the gripping hands, you remove the thumb. The thumb just comes out. And then you can, like, slot in the sword, and then you just put the thumb in, and then you put the handguard on, and there you go. Holds it pretty solidly. So you get those hands. You also do get more relaxed hands, which I think are very nice to have with an Optimus Prime, especially if you just kind of want him standing there more docile with the shield and everything on his back. He does also have far more expressive hands, which I think are very cool looking. I love the details of the hinges in the hands. Unfortunately, they don't move. I feel like Threezero could have engineered them to articulate. I think they could have, but unfortunately they did not. But still, they look nice. I'll probably swap out one of the hands at some point so I can like repose it to look a little bit more calm because he's like battle ready right now. So what else does he have? He does have an alternate arm plate. It covers up the port that you need to attach arm accessories. So I will show that. He actually comes packed with this on him. He does also have one arm accessory, which is his like arm blade that he used just a couple times in the movie, but it's still very nice that we get it included. I think he used this or something like it in Age of Extinction too, if I'm not mistaken. You do get adapters. So this is the shield adapter for his back. I will show you how that attaches when I put the shield on his back near the end of the video. That's the adapter piece for that. This is the adapter piece to put the sword onto the shield. So that is an option you also have, and I will show you how that works. This is functionally the same as the other two, but this is so you can have the shield on his back while he is still carrying the you can have the sword on the back while he is still carrying the shield. So many S's. So that is the adapter for that. And you can kind of see what is on him currently. He kind of has like this crooked adapter where like it plugs into the arm, goes up a little bit, and then plugs into the shield. And then how the back works, I'll just show you real quick. There is a couple little plates. This plate you remove, and that's where you can plug in the shield or sword adapter. Then he does have a plate back here. He's got these little butt plates to move out of the way. But you can remove that, and that's where you plug in the display base. So just wanted to show those off because they are good to know. He does have one more accessory too, and it's actually one of my absolute favorites. It is the interchangeable mouth. I might actually display him with the mouth because, like I said, I really enjoy this design for Optimus with the mouth. I just genuinely do. I think he looks really nice with the mouth. So I really do enjoy this inclusion. I'm very happy they did that. So without further ado, let's start taking a look at all the crazy details on this thing because it is insane. Threezero truly makes masterpieces. These are, without a doubt, robot replicas. If you want to have a genuine replica of Optimus Prime's CGI design from these movies, look no further. Actually, you could look a little bit further because Threezero also does premium scale, which are even bigger and somehow even more detailed. So keep that in mind. But I personally really like DLX scale because they're essentially like Hot Toys equivalent, 1/6 scale. This head sculpt is insane. That is Optimus Prime. It does light up, by the way. It takes LR44s. They're not included, but they're pretty common batteries. Just order them on Amazon. His eyes do shine pretty bright, but with all my studio lights, they are a little hindered. I kind of wish I could just keep them on all the time, but I'm one of those collectors that, you know, I can only leave them on for just a few seconds, maybe for a picture or something, and then I just have to turn it off because I don't want to waste the batteries. This head sculpt, though, let me remove the sword so we can get a bit of a closer look. This head sculpt is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I feel like it could probably have a little bit more like Cybertronian glyph detail onto it. I feel like he just had more glyphs in the movie. But still, it looks incredible. Cannot get enough of this head sculpt. Like, that is Last Night Age of Extinction Optimus Prime. Like, that is him. That is him. And I do want to remove the mouth plate and put the mouth on right now, just to show you that, because I just genuinely enjoy how he looks with the mouth just a little bit more. I'm not sure why. With other versions of Optimus, I prefer the mouth plate. But with this one, like, that seam, too, you can't even see it. Like, he just has so much detail in the face, you can't even notice the seam where the face is interchangeable. Turning that light on again. That's Optimus. That's him right there. Honestly, Optimus did say, like, some of his most badass shit out of this face. So, yeah, there's probably a reason why I like this design so much. They're not your property. Oh, it's so cool. Honor till the end. Oh, dude. So good. So good. He does have these little logos as well by the shoulders. I think those look really nice. The chest, man. Look at the chest. All of the little, like, weathering details. The nice shininess of the flames, the blues, the reds. All the little golds, tiny little Autobot symbol. I just love the look of the torso. The stomach is so detailed, down to the hip armor. The sword has plenty of Cybertronian glyphs. Plenty. I don't know if there's any direct translation of that, but I definitely appreciate the inclusion of those on the sword. And the sword also carries in some of that awesome blue and red. The arm, I've always loved his arm armor. Once he grabbed the sword and was like, recognize one of your knights. It was just so cool. And how his arms transformed and he got this cool like armor added to him. Yes. It looks so amazing. The shoulder pads too. I love the angular nature of the shoulder pads. It does have some glyphs on the shoulder pads. I love the little sharp point at the bottom too. I really do like that. And a little bit of like silver trimming. And around the back too. I've always loved how the smokestacks feel like a natural like protrusion out of his back. It's like they're a part of his like shoulder blades. It's just so nice looking. All the little gold pistons and everything, even his butt. I love the detail on his butt. I do want to show, it's kind of a bit of the articulation, but when you do bend his ab crunch, you do get some spine exposure, which is incredible. That looks so perfect. Absolutely love that. But going down his legs too. Well, first his shield. His shield has so much awesome detail. I love the little flames still on it. It's almost like the shield is a part of the truck. And then the little reds and everything. Some glyphs. Looks very, very nice. Love the shield. The shield does also have some detail on the inside of it as well. Not nearly as much, but it still has some detail worth showing off. The legs, I've always loved these like red hoses going down. Almost kind of reminds me of like some chains or something. The hip guards look very nice, and you do have some motion for those. I'll show all that in the articulation. The knee pads look incredible, very armored. It's got some glyphs on the legs, bordered by some gold. Loving the flames again, and his feet just look like nice, sharp night boots. This is such an incredible design. I definitely still have the complaint of, I wish there were more elements of the truck incorporated into it. Would like to see some wheels and some actual, like, I mean, I guess those are the shocks, but, or the wheels. There's not enough, like, identifiable truck elements. You know, I guess those are like the gas tanks right by his shoulders. I don't know, man. You can't see the wheels at all. I wish the wheels were somewhere, but I can't complain too much. It's still a really incredible design. It definitely has grown on me over the years. That is an absolute fact. This design has grown on me so much. So before I start posing him around, I do want to get his accessories off because they're just a little bit hindering when it comes to moving him around. Mostly the sword, because it's so big, it will knock into the camera, I am absolutely sure. So let's remove the accessories. So to do that, first I'm going to suggest removing the entire hand to get the sword off. I just think that's going to be easiest. And like I said, we will remove the thumb, and then we'll just pry the sword out. The fingers are softer plastic, so don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to break them. The best way to do it is kind of just to like roll the sword into the hand, and it'll just kind of pop into place. I have not noticed any paint rub or anything, so it should be okay. One thing I do really want to point out, though, one really annoying thing about this figure, probably the most annoying thing, you literally just saw it. These handguards don't stay on too well. They really don't. I pose this guy around, and I'm always knocking these things off. So if you want to get really handsy with this thing, I would, no pun intended, take care of the hands first. I do want to swap out this hand with one a little bit more calm, so we can have him looking a little bit more calm and stoic. One thing I do want to say, don't hold on to the elbow pad when you're pushing the new hand on. Hold on to the lower arm, because the elbow pad kind of pops out of place, and I wouldn't want to like damage that or anything. This does have the issue of having some pretty tight ball sockets, and I have actually seen a listing on this on eBay where someone broke the wrist peg. So I would be very careful. Don't break your very expensive $200 plus Optimus Prime. So let me straighten his position a little bit. Then for the shield, we will just kind of shimmy that off without breaking it. And we will take this off. This is the adapter peg. And I do want to show very briefly, this is how it looks with that little arm blade. Looks very cool. Definitely looks cool with that arm blade. Absolutely love it. So get that off. And then we can actually just remove this and replace it with the one without the port. So his arm looks more streamlined. And then what we will do, we will turn him around, remove this panel right here. Ooh, that came off, but it's okay. I know where it went. And then we will use this, and it has a slot right there, and it's going to slot right up there. I would just have that on right away. And then we will take the shield and then put this adapter piece right into there. And that should stay in pretty securely. And then the sword, we will slot down into it. And there we go. There is the sword shield combo. I would definitely be careful, like, you know, don't knock it out because that adapter isn't connected super solidly. For posing, I will not keep this on, but I just want to show how he looks in a more neutral position. There goes the hand guard again. So you can also, like, pivot this too. I think he's supposed to have it, like, pivoted. I think that's how he has it on his back, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you can see far more calm Optimus. Well, I say calm. I feel like whenever I see him like this, I just think of, what has happened to my world? I'll kill you. Like him just going after Quintessa for no reason. Ah, jeez. I love Optimus, but his writing was very odd in the Michael Bay movies. Anyways, there he is, all nice and calm. Let's remove this, and let's pose him around because he has a lot to pose. So his head is on a ball joint, and his neck is also on a ball joint, so you get a lot of crazy motion out of that. There might actually be a few pieces I have not even noticed move around quite yet. He is a little limited by those shoulder pads, but it's not too bad, and do keep in mind too, you might accidentally turn the eyes on. He does have these little pieces right here that will move out of the way for the arms. The shoulder pads can hinge out, and then they're also on a ball joint. And then he has a armpit joint that will move up and down and also give you some inward butterfly, especially for those poses where he's like, you stand with us or you stand against me. You know, you can do all that stuff, which is very incredible. I might end up displaying him like that. But I'll save that pose for you if you decide to get this thing. So he's got some nice butterflies, moving the shoulder pad out of the way. You can get the shoulders up pretty far. I would definitely move that pad back so you have as much freedom as possible. He does have, he does have a bicep swivel, but the armor does kind of get in the way, so I would kind of use that in tandem with the armpit joint. The elbow is on a double joint, and that moves pretty solidly. Pretty nice range there. Each wrist is on a ball joint and a slight hinge as well, so that's pretty nice. The torso I've already kind of shown off just a little bit. He does have a crunch at the abs that moves very, very far forward. Very impressive. It does also have a little bit of rotation there and some tilt as well. For the hips, his hip skirts are on double balls, but do keep in mind they can pop off. And they're kind of annoying to pop back on, but you do have double balls for the front hip skirting. You do have these pieces that move down on double hinges to give you a little bit more range. You do also have these butt panels that can move, but they don't really get in the way as much, but thankfully they can get out of the way. You do have drop downs at the legs, but before we do that, there goes the other wrist, the other arm panel. It seems like it kind of wants to default to the drop down first, so I'm not really going to try to force it without that. But with the drop down, you can see it's going to move pretty far forward. Like, you're going to get a lot of range out of that leg, which is very, very impressive. So you get you can kind of see what it looks like too without it, because that drop down wants to move before the main joint. So you get a lot of forward, get a decent amount out as well. You do have a thigh swivel, and I think the thigh swivel here works a little bit better than the Revenge of the Fallen one, but still it's kind of limited. You do get a double jointed knee, and I really do appreciate this armor separation too. I really do like that. Like, look at that knee pad right there. That looks very nice. Very impressed with that. And then for the ankles, you do get an armor piece that will move. You can drop them down a little bit, and you can actually just fully pop them out as well. But with the drop down, you can, I think it's kind of like a double hinge, if I'm not mistaken. Here, let's take it out again. So you can kind of see it's like a double hinge me do going on in the ankle. So it gives you a lot of range, gives you a lot of forward, gives you some back. You do get some toe articulation as well, which definitely comes in handy for certain more dynamic poses. And you do get some ankle tilt, but I don't feel like you get as much as some others. But you definitely do get some, so that's good. I definitely appreciate that. So the articulation on this Threezero DLX Optimus is absolutely insane, but I love it. This figure has just been absolutely stunning. After I did a YouTube short on the Revenge of the Fallen one, someone commented like, "Oh man, you should really get the Last Night version. It's like even better than the Revenge of the Fallen one." And honestly, after playing around with this and the Revenge of the Fallen one, ooh, I gotta be careful with that wrist. That just did a little like paint snap. I don't want to break it. But after playing with this and the Revenge of the Fallen one, I will say this is the more fun of the two. It's definitely the more fun. And I would also say it looks a little bit better. It's a little bit more visually impressive. I think, since this is a newer figure, I think Threezero's kind of learned some processes and have made some improvements to their formula. And this Age of Extinction Last Night Optimus design absolutely shines in this figure medium. Given how this design is already pretty hard to, translate into a transforming figure, it has very successfully. Look at Unique Toys Challenger. I have that one. It's great. It can be done, but just having this true robot replica, Threezero, man. Not only Threezero, but YOLO Park also does incredible stuff. They're going to tackle this design in their AMK line, and I cannot wait to get that. But this Threezero DLX Last Night Optimus, so good. Absolutely love it. Definitely worth the money. Absolutely cannot recommend this enough. Go and buy it. If you love this design as much as I do, you're not going to regret it. It is sold out in a lot of places. It is almost sold out entirely. I ordered this from a shop in Canada, based in Canada. So I wanted it, man. I wanted it bad. So I looked around and I found a place based in Canada that had it in stock. I'll check and see if it's still in stock. If it is, I might put a link down in the comments. I don't want to say their name because it might be sold out, and I don't want to lead people astray that are watching this later. And also, they're not sponsoring me, so it'll be down in the comments if it's still in stock. If not, then I hope Threezero reissues it, because it is definitely something worth having if this seems like something that you would love to have. Alrighty, guys, there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this absolutely incredible figure. I cannot wait to get the Rise of the Beast Optimus as well. I will definitely get that, 100%. Love that design. Can't wait to have like 4 amazing Optimuses all in a row. It's going to look great. Going to look so great. Thank you guys so much for watching. Special shout out to channel members as always. Thank you all so much for the continued support. Have a great one, guys. And when you look up at the stars, think of one of them as my soul.